like to start off by saying that the basis for our side of the argument is the core of our claim is that it's freedom of choice, and according to the Constitution, that we have inalienable rights that the government is required to protect, and these include relations and transactions between consenting adults, as long as there's no threat to life, liberty, or the pursuit of happiness. So this is a constitutional issue. And as for the claims against it, there have been claims about crime. But these crimes are the crime associated with it is largely part of the prohibition of it. Whereas there is as an illustration of this, there are counties in Nevada have where prostitution is legal have low crime rates and stimulated economies include. An example is Churchill County in 2004 had a ballot measure to outlaw prostitution, and it was rejected by a 2-to-1 margin. And even though this county was mostly Republican and supported George W. Bush for president, and other claims about rape and so forth. The number of rapes in the Netherlands where prostitution is legal is significantly lower than places where it is illegal. This is because prostitutes can report rapes to the police without being prosecuted themselves, which is the same reason why 70%. There's a statistic that's been given 70% of prostitutes have been raped, but 70% of postal workers have not been raped because they can report this crime without being prosecuted. And one thing my opponent said was that this will not really increase economic productivity because we'll not be able to collect taxes on it. But this is a separate issue. Businesses do have to pay taxes. This is more a financial issue than a prostitution issue. And Nevada does have an economic boost of over $400 million a year from prostitution. And also, it's been said that by my opponent that prostitutes are basically used by brothels and don't really get any of the money. But this is basically the same thing as they're not forced to work there. This is the same thing as the same concept as being a slave to a pimp. And prostitutes will have more options if it were legal. And it's and also human trafficking and child prostitution was mentioned. But this is because it's on the black market. Everything is fair game on the black market. If this were actually legal, then like strippers, for an example, you don't see strippers, child strippers or slave strippers, because they're those, or slave, or pretty much any. This is the only profession where you find actual people being kept as slaves because they can't report this. And it's also been said that this basically turns women into a commodity. Yes, there are male prostitutes. And this, back on the subject of economics, and sorry. On the subject of safety, and prostitutes are according to James Allen Fox, a criminal justice professor at Northeastern University, prostitutes are the #1 targets for serial killers simply because their profession requires them to be alone with someone and not ever tell anyone about it.